Game number one went the way of Orange in a pretty big way. LGD possibly facing elimination, possibly having their fate taken out of their hands. Bounce back in game two and finally able to get a win under their belt after losing 6 consecutive games, stretching all the way back to March. And now the culmination of this series and the chance for Orange to punch their ticket to the Live Land Finals on the line, as well as LGD's fate here in Phase 3 of the Asia Qualifiers. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. I'm AC, joined by Puppy from Navi. And yeah, man, I mean, Game 2 just went forever. An absolute grind fest. Started out very violent on both sides, had a lot of kills on the board to begin. Then it just kind of petered out. We got into this very strategic sort of a mindset, but in the end, LGD able to hang on and win on the back of an Aegis on a gyrocopter who happened to be walking around with a divine rapier.
All right, so what must we think now in this third game? I think Orange suspects that they went the wrong choice of the SF early pickup. I think the SF was good. It worked out very well. Actually, it did not early game. It's still a reminder of what they had first game. They had Weaver, they had Tinker, and then they had the SF. He has so much protection that he wasn't the main carry. Like, overall, he wasn't the main farm hero. They just got him to farm. But there were heroes that were backing him up all the time, Weaver and Tinker. So I guess Orange need to remember things that they did the first game to make this game work once again. And people were saying that the Enigma did not matter in the last game. It totally did. Every time LGD International couldn't go further because the Black Hole changed the game a lot, even though it's not even used. It's one of those heroes that can just make the fear factor to you. Because if he would have caught the Silencer, he would have just Black Holed one Silencer. But he never got to.
10 seconds.
Yeah, and that's I totally agree with you. It isn't so much that the Enigma didn't matter, that he wasn't an influence. He had a huge influence in the way that LGD had to try to approach their pushes, how they had to engage their chains of initiation. It's just they did such a good job, basically from bell to bell. I mean, we saw one Black Hole that mattered anything. And in fact, I think we saw him casted one time, and that was at like 15 minutes to get a double kill up near the side shop, and very, very early on in that game. Had a big influence, but Orange unable to put it to work for them when it mattered the most. Now LGD Gaming going right back to the well that never ends, the well that is the gyrocopter. They're going to have a clockwork as well. We saw God give us a pretty solid performance in game number one, and this time they're going to have a Magnus to go with gyro as well. And I love the synergy personally between a Magnus and a gyro, because 9 times out of 10 what you want to do with the gyro, you're kind of limited. You either build survivability early and your damage is lacking, or you build your damage and then obviously your BKB is late. Maybe you don't have the biggest HP pool in the world. Magnus gives you the option to do both when you can get them both on the same team.
Yes, I'm very sure that LGD is having the better lineup right now, because now they're putting Orange to the test. Because Orange are going with their old school lineup. They actually used Shadow Demon Leshrac a long time ago. They loved this combination. They used it with Kunkas and stuff. It was before Winter was still playing with them, but still pretty much the same team, right?
Right.
And the idea is simple. Like, they try to put pressure on the enemy and kind of split push through that. They've always been a split push team. They've always wanted to dominate the lanes and go further with that by dominating the towers individually, not with the whole team, but individually. So let's see what points they're gonna go with the carries, because they really need something strong. They really need something Weaver-ish, somewhere in that context. But Weaver, as far as the hero is good, he's actually a little bit bad against Magnus, because Magnus is one of those heroes that, Lincoln Sphere is good against Beastmaster for Weaver, but Magnus doesn't care about your Lincoln Sphere, and you can't counter it. So that's the whole point why this hero is dominant against the Weaver.
I love what LGD is doing with their bans right now. They have so much team fight just in their front three, not to mention rather strong laning, depending on how they want to do it. But they've got so much team fight synergy coming out of, obviously, the initiation range that a Clockwork's going to show you. You're going to have RP plus Shockwave into a call down, into Flak Cannon, into Rocket Barrage. So this is a team already that out of LGD can and most likely will be willing to get out and take some early fights early. And not just little gank attempts. They can honestly start the team fight pretty early. So what do? They make that even better. Taking out Luna, one of the carry options Orange still had open. Luna can team fight a little bit, can team fight early a lot better better than a lot of other heroes can because of the strength of things like Lunar Blessing. Eclipse, of course, gives you a lot of magic damage to come out in those big team engagements so long as you use it in the right situation. The Brewmaster, the exact same thing, a team fight monster at level 6 and level 11. Does peter off as the game goes on, but still an excellent hero. And I just feel like this is a revitalized. I mean, just looking at the draft already out of LGD, I feel like they're coming in with a very set plan. They got 3 heroes they really wanted to have, and now they're building an entire game plan around that so far as picks and bans. And it feels like it almost doesn't matter what Orange has picked up here. They feel confident that what they have in their front 3 is good enough to build around no matter what Orange picks.
I think Orange is innovating some things. They are not banning the same heroes that they have last games, because if you look at LGD's bans, it's pretty much the same. The Nakes, the Tinker, the Luna, the Panda, they were all in the first, second games. Not maybe the Tinker Nakes. Morph was in there also. And why is Orange banning Rubik, Chen, Enchantress? They didn't ban them last time, but they feel like something is going to happen maybe. That's this Rubik and Chen is going to be too strong for them. And they can see that, obviously. They have this Leshrac, Nyx Assassin, Shadow Demon. If they get taken down in the early game, these heroes don't come back.
Mm-hmm. Completely agree. And I really feel, I mean, obviously you've got 3 of the highest tier supports that Orange has picked up, so it's not like they're hurting in terms of punching power. Nyx Assassin, well, I'll tell you, before I even finish that thought, what jumps out is Shadow Demon and Leshrac, they're great in a defensive tri lane, sure, but in this situation, do you even opt to go offensive tri lane? Do you pick something and say, you know what, based on the front 3 I see out of LGD, like, should they feel confident enough to do that and then maybe send the Nyx mid? Or do you just, or hell, you could offensively tri-lane these 3 heroes if you really wanted to?
From Orange, Nyx Assassin, Shadow Demon, Leshrac?
Yep, I've seen it done, actually. It was done not long ago.
Yes, it can be done. It can be done, but the point is, what was going on with LGD International the first and second game? They had Shadow Demon, Leshrac, I think both games, maybe not both games, but they needed to pressure. They pressured Mushi both of the games. They tried it really hard, but now it's Orange's turn to do the same, and the sides have been turning, you know. And Magnetar, Clockwork, Gyrocopter, if you once do not kill these heroes and these heroes kill you instead, it's going to be very grim. It's pretty much the same situation as we had first and second game. And Weaver pick up.
Radiant team pick.
But the Coddle is great in this context, but for one reason, LGD, they have a very crushing lineup. They really do. But they still need some kind of a stable disable.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking
disable.
That's right. Poet, you didn't know it. I am honestly right on the same page with you. Like, looking at their team, I mean, Carapace gives Nyx Assassin a little extra punching power that heroes like a Shadow Demon and Leshrac don't really have in the early levels. You know, both heroes just tend to kind of die if you're able to get on top of them. Lion pick up. Go ahead.
That's a very good disable for them to pick up. I thought they would go for something like a Sand King, because Sand King is actually very mobile against the Shadow Demon Leshrac combination. The only problem is that he's very squishy. Of course, Lion's squishy too, but he's ranged. And as long as this game is going to go to late game, I don't even know who's going to win. I'm always going to say that the Magnetar team has the plus in the late game. But in the last game, it was weird. It was weird because they only had 1 SF for the late game, and the Magnetar wasn't really putting himself into a carry position. He was kind of getting useless after the refresher got on Pycat.
OD gonna be the last pickup from Orange, and they've got decent late game potential. I agree with you though. When you look at Magnus, the way he works with Gyrocopter, then you're gonna have something like even a blinding light out of Keeper of the Light, of something that can't really be ignored in terms of if he's able to get that off at a clutch moment, get the miss percentage up on a hero like a Weaver late. You kind of got to give the edge to LGD. Orange has a very mid-game centric lineup. Not to say they can't scale at all, but with Weaver, OD in particular, and this has kind of become the trend whenever I've casted ODs, which hasn't been super often. I mean, he's still a fairly uncommon pick. I wouldn't say it's super rare, like it's always a huge surprise, but that's a hero who wants to get a good start, who wants to dominate a lane, usually mid if he can feel confident there, and then he wants to get up some items, especially a Force Staff in particular, give him that extra bit of mobility to allow him to get into fights, get out of fights, keep himself alive, drop his ulti, hopefully get the big damage that you and I saw OD pour out with that ulti yesterday, actually. But if he's unable to do that, if he's unable to get ahead in levels, to get ahead in farm very early on, he ends up being a lot like a Shadow Fiend that just doesn't have quite as much punching power. He dies very easily.
Oh, it's weird that LGD is not picking their heroes yet. Because Orange are going to their woods, and I think they're not gonna... Oh, they don't even want to contest it because they know that this is very hard to do anything there. They have, like, pretty much no punching power. They have to get all very close. Only Coddle is going to do anything there. Anyway, let's say one thing right now. The Obsidian pick is great because every time I see Obsidian picked up, I see Shadow Demon also picked up. And Shadow Demon, he works so well with the Obsidian. He saves him. You can save double, twice the same hero. There's so many combinations you can do, and mid lane is always in trouble.
Here we go. Maybe a little first blood action. LGD is going to show their face down here. And we see pings on both sides. Orange hiding out for the moment. And both teams very cautious about how they approach this. There we go. Ward does go down.
Oh, they see the ward. They see the ward, though.
And
the sentry ward is coming.
Oh, Net's going to go ahead and spin that. Here comes the team eating their way through the trees. Are they going to engage? Here comes the Illuminate. There's a great Impale, Earth Spike, I should say. The Illuminate caught everyone. The Cogs, though, serving as a buffer, keeping these two teams separated. If they had managed to charge through and get first blood, that would have been one of the more epic Dota moments I'd ever seen, just because they all ate through the trees at once. Like, they all came just charging through. And for the moment, though, remains 0-0.
They're going in again.
And they're going to spot 1437. There's a disruption follow-up, perfectly placed. Good Earth Spike, though. Excuse me, good in? Yeah, that is an Earth Spike. And 1437 will be cleaned up. Now Misery taking some damage. Pycat is spreading that damage out, though. Too many targets. Good split Earth out of Ohio. Oh, what a great Earth Spike, but just not enough. He caught 3 with it. That's a double kill now, going the way of Net. And Misery already showing some proficiency on Lion, but unfortunately, Orange coming out way ahead in that exchange.
Yeah, this was a mini mistake. I think they made all the heroes go away, but there was no reason for the Coddle to stand there. Absolutely no reason. So yeah, that broke them kind of right now.
Go ahead and take a look at our lineup as soon as I feel confident. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to have a moment of quiet. Let's look through LGD, who's on who. Misery, who landed some good Earth Spikes, but unfortunately not enough to really get things turned around for his team. He'll be playing on Lion. We're going to have Keeper of the Light handled by 1437. The unfortunate loser on the side of our first blood. We'll have God handling our Magnus. He's going to be one-on-one against our Weaver at top. In mid, going to have Brax on our Clockwork now. That is a swap. God was on the Clockwork in game number 2. This time Brax going to be controlling the little Clockwork Goblin, little rattle trap here in mid. And Gyrocopter will be farmed by Pycat on the other side of the river. We've got Mushi, the captain and the carry, handling our OD here in mid, using Astral Imprisonment, and poor Brax not going to have any mana anytime soon. Nyx Assassin will be handled by X. Shadow Demon, played by Net. Weaver up against that Magnus solo lane top, be handled by K. And
holy lord, look at this Magnetar skilling this Weaver so hard. Actually, it was okay. He got 2 last hits. I interrupted you.
That's fine. That was on the last one. Here we go. Hang on. And there, Pycat caught again. There's an Illuminate, comes out way too late. And yeah, this was, I kind of mentioned it in the beginning, and we both kind of just moved on, but this offensive tri-lane, Shadow Demon, Leshrac, and Nyx Assassin, I've seen it before. And when they can get ahead, and whenever they can just win the position battle, especially on the Radiant side, seems to me like the Radiant jungle's a little bit easier to move in and out of with this kind of a lineup. I've seen it run in both before. But this is going really, really well for Orange. And, hang on. Weaver's actually just going to get a solo kill on Magnus. So, Mag, who had Puppy going, oh my god, all of a sudden, Weaver says, quiet, Puppy, I'm better.
Yes. He creeps kills, I kill him, you know. That's how it goes.
Farming heroes, bro. Farming heroes. 3 minutes in, though. Finally. Well, actually, not. Take that back. Orange is just running over LGD right now. They're winning pretty much every lane except maybe mid. And even in mid, 9 at Clockwork.
Two last hits only on Clockwork.
Yep. I actually glanced out of the corner of my eye and mistook Gyro for Clockwork for a moment there. But anyway, as it stands, and just look at this. Orange is very confident in taking this over. Not a point in the carapace yet. Now, though, a lot of damage done to Ohio. Homing Missile will connect, but he's got help around. And this is just not going well at all for LGD.
Well, I know that Orange likes to put Panda on their easy lane to against the Magnetar, and they do crush the Magnetar. Panda's really strong hero against Magnetar. But this time they have Weaver. And even though I would say that the Weaver is probably going to be not that useful against the Magnetar, I never know what's going to happen in this game because everything can turn upside down. And I know that. I play this game.
You play a little Dota, right? From what I understand, that's what they tell me. A little bit.
A little bit.
Anyway, back here in mid, we see bottle crowing going on in the both solo lanes for Orange right now. And Weaver, as well as Mushi, sending the Hexapus, which, by the way, is an awesome courier. You can get one very easily. All you got to do is pick up your in-game ticket to the G-1. You can hear me and Puppy and whoever else happens to be joining me. Hopefully it's you once again in the future, Puppy. But if not, I've very much enjoyed your time yesterday and today. But so far, I mean, Orange, what else can you say? They're at 2,000 gold to the advantage and 1,000 experience by virtue of nothing but kills right now.
Yeah, I don't see this Gyrocopter farming much in this game because I see 3 bottles from Orange. I see a bottle on top lane, I see a bottle on mid lane, I see bottom Nyx Assassin with a bottle too. I think it was Leshrax. Yes, it is Leshrax. And the factor means that they just don't want to give away lanes or runes or anything, you know? They're prepared to get this game on a roll. And that's what kind of happened when they started picking this Coddle up and this Lion. Because they actually needed somebody like Bane. They had the choice to pick up Bane. They had the choice to get like Bane plus Sanking, something like that. Because these heroes, they're strong. They don't let themselves get run over. Because even if Shadow Demon disrupts somebody, you could just run in with Sanking. They're going to have to deal with Sanking. Or you're going to just sleep some hero. You have so many choices. But right now, all you have is a Lion Coddle who's going to just stand behind the Gyrocopter and watch him die.
Right now, this top lane just going phenomenally. I'll tell you what I love about this lane more than anything. I mean, obviously, the kills are nice. Leshrac is getting such a good start. And how many times have you seen a Lesh that gets off to an excellent start and then just becomes a dominant force so early? You know, he gets up, say, even an early BKB or, you know, depending on what he wants to build, obviously. But you'll see a Leshrac get a great start. He's our top farmer right now, by the way. So, I mean, Ohio is not only dominating this lane in terms of keeping LGD off of the farm and off of experience and taking over their jungle, but giving Lesh this kind of a start is going to make him so much more dominant in the mid game, and it's going to make it so much more easy for him to team fight in the mid game as well.
Yeah, I've only seen this playstyle actually from the old Orange where Yamate plays the Leshrac. He did like to do that all the time. But they're going for a gank, I think. Oh god.
That's just a dive. And wow. Soul Catcher's there, follow it up, Split Earth, Impale, not even needed. Could have cleaned him up with auto attacks. Now they're going to be able to fall back. And that's 5-0. Big fat.
That's 5-0.
That is, I mean, this is just remarkable the way Orange is dismantling this tri-lane of LGD. And this is an LGD squad who grinded out a pretty good win in Game 2. This almost hits me as one of those moments where, you know, if anyone who's played competitive anything, doesn't matter if it's boxing, football, if it's Dota, every now and then you just get hit in the face a little too quick and you kind of get knocked out of your rhythm. And I can't help but feel like that's what's happened to LGD here.
I think they weren't expecting that much of a tri-lane on bottom lane. They should have. They definitely should have seen that they're going to be aggressive because I don't know if they think this Coddle and Lion are good in stopping this because it's not really. And the Gyrocopter was standing middle last game. I think it would have been very hard for them to tri-lane with the Gyrocopter in the end. That wasn't happening actually in the second game. It was much more of a double roaming on the SF middle lane. So this Gyrocopter that was last game, he got supported by 2 heroes, Shadow Demon and Leshrac. 2 heroes that were constantly supporting him. But this time, there's no disruption for him. There's no stun for him. There's this Earth Spike, but that's not Leshrac to you.
Right.
The heroes have been given away to the other team, and they should have known this. They should have actually gone into the same... They should have thought of a orangey type of pick, kind of.
An orangey type of pick. I like that.
Yeah.
Very nice adjective. And Brax still sitting at 17. That's what's sad, is Brax is struggling there in mid. Down here, Pycat, same story. He's only got 17 last hits at this point. Mushi in mid going to be engaged upon. God is there.
But not killed, actually.
Uses the Astral Imprisonment, and Brax has no mana. Oh, that's going to be infuriating. He's been imprisoned, even with a bottle. He has no mana. 91 mana, his max mana pool right now, and unable to clean up Mushi, who should have been dead to rights. Well played by Orange.
Yeah, it's very hard for them to do anything. This is what the hero does, by the way. And Pika is getting killed, maybe.
Yep.
Yes, he is.
That's a killing spree.
Cobble.
They're just giving these up at this point. I mean, they had to know Orange was in the vicinity. That's 7-0. And this, I mean...
And God Kill Them All does not have RP top. He has to do something like this.
Ooh. Barely able to get away. So, all right, Puppy, let's step back from this a minute. We know what we're seeing, and what we're seeing is Orange running over top of LGD. You're the captain of LGD right now. What do you tell your team, and what's the game plan to get back into this?
From now, I can't really see much done. I can only see one thing done. You need to farm up sentries right now. You need to farm up and kill these goddamn wards that are in our woods. Because if you're not going to do that, if you're going to buy a gauntlet of strength on your clockwork and stuff, and like some other items on your carries and stuff, it's not going to let us win this game. It just is not. We need a sentry ward in our woods, because if we 5-man control our woods, we can at least do something in this game. But as you can see, Misery just gets taken down. He's going to be level 3 for the rest of this game if this is going to happen.
And as you were talking about it, man, that's that ward right there. That ward spotted Misery.
That is that ward.
Then they made their way down like that. That's exactly what happened. It's what's been killing them now. Counter movement out of LGD. And they may have a chance. Yep, Nyx is 5. He doesn't have Vendetta. He's got Carapace up. There we go. Going to spin his Impale.
First kill.
Carapace.
No, not yet.
Oh, the hook.
No.
Finally. LGD finds a way to get themselves on the board. Very much needed counter kill. Doesn't stop the bleeding, but hey, at least they finally put a nick on the other team's arm.
They still have to clear these wards in their woods. That's the only thing they need to do.
Is under attack.
And 1437 does drop a observer of his own. Here comes the Shadow Demon and Leshrac again, though. And they're going to be looking for a target. Looks like Pycat will make it back into lane before anything can be done. 1437.
Oh, the chicken.
Oh, no.
Has been killed.
Courier picked off by Orange as well. 11 minutes in, 8-1. Courier's down. We're talking almost 7,500 gold. The advantage for Orange right now. We don't have a tower down yet.
Yeah, we don't. It's crazy. They're losing this game very fast and they need to do something. But they don't have the levels to do so, and like I will say all the time, Obsidian just stops ganks.
Yep.
He does. When a hero is not middle for like 2 minutes, you already know that the gank is coming up somewhere, and you already understand that stuff is happening. But this hero just does not let you get ganked. What is Lion going to do? Hex the Obsidian when the Clockwork had like 91 mana? That's exactly what happened.
Exactly.
They have 5 heroes middle now. Nyx Assassin is going to find maybe some.
Oh, there's a hook. Gonna connect.
He gets the Lion though.
And Mushi. Oh, wow. Once dropped. There comes the ult. He's going to go ahead and imprison himself. Carapace buying some time. Illuminate does some decent damage. Now the TP reaction, though. Pycat going to be the target. He's below half health. There's the Demonic Purge. Pycat in trouble. There's an Impale. RP, though. Going to counter things up, and God gets there just in time to bail his buddies out. Pycat did end up dead at the end. But finally, LGD has something go marginally their way. The problem is, to make all that happen, cost them a bottom tier 1.
Cost him a bottom tier 1, and this Weaver is probably going to get more farm, more and more. Like, these items which he has, they don't seem big, right? They seem like a Medallion, Tranquil Boost, and Ring of Aquila. This is actually a lot of items if you can go for, like, current net worth and stuff. Look, he's farming just as much as the Leshrac, and the Leshrac has big items. He has 2k in his bank, and he has Point Booster and stuff. He has the same amount of items, actually, as Weaver.
Leshrac's not far at all from Soul Booster. That's terrifying if you're LGD. It has to be.
It is. And God Kill Them All might die actually here. I think he should have went with him. But you never know what's gonna happen. You might have had a Lion there.
And a little bit more movement out of Orange. This basically has been their jungle. These woods have not belonged to the Radiant side this game. They have had complete control.
Like, you know, they understand the game as in what are creeps and what are big creeps. Like, oh, Lion, you're like killing those creeps. I would think like I like you as a creep. Kill the smalls. Okay, actually, look at this Shadow Demon.
Yep. Oh, good hook from Brax. Caught him just as he was about to TP out. That's a super dead Shadow Demon. Did get down another very offensive ward, though, so they're going to have even more vision. You can just see the
It has to
ring
get
of
cleaned
vision.
out. It has to get cleaned out, though.
And so far, I mean, I'm looking around for sentries. I'm not seeing sentries in anyone's inventory. And granted, they're broke, so it's hard to afford them, but it's not that hard, especially given what it's cost them.
It is hard when you don't have a career.
Yeah, that too, I guess. Good point.
Just respawn. And they have, like, sentries coming out instantly.
There you go. Weaver laying into the top tier 1. He's got it down to a quarter health.
Oh no, Cacho! He's running for his life.
And there we go. Nyx Assassin uses the mana burn as well. Now Carapace. Weaver's right behind him. Brax not going to chase that far. Oh, wow. He's actually going to be able to get the cogs
God
down.
has ultimate.
And Weaver will be cleaned up. And Orange opening the door up a little bit for them.
You open doors up?
Yeah, exactly. That's what you do. You open them up, especially when they're in the attic. And God, though, going to feed another one back. Make it 5-11. But Leshrac has completed his soul booster, by the way.
Solo killing time on Caudle.
And in mid, hang on. Did they get the Coddle? There it is. There's the hook.
I don't know.
Brax gets the cogs down. And doesn't matter. Just trapped himself, more or less. Bottom, Pycat.
And the Caudle? Or no, that was Lion.
Yeah, I was going to say Coddle's in big.
Mushi!
Oh, well. Mushi drops the hammer. 13-5. They're diving to tier 2s right now. That's just how confident Orange is and how far ahead they happen to be.
And the Weaver's gonna get taken tired if she one tower. Also. At top.
Wheels have officially come off the wagon for the LGD Express. Just about 10,000 gold the difference, and we're 15 minutes into this game, 7,500 experience. And like I said, I mean, when you see Leshrac get this kind of a start, it really is just so hard to deal with. Because all of a sudden, he's not this squishy support that, yeah, you can do damage, but if you just focus fire him, he dies. All of a sudden, he's got 1,200 hit points at 15 minutes. That's nuts for a Leshrac.
Yes, it is. But even though how far this game is going and how it's going, it's still... they still can lose this game.
Oh, yeah.
Because RP, this is what IG likes to do. They like to pick Lion with the Magnetar. Because if you can get off an RP and the Impale after the RP on the heroes, it's very strong. And they can clean out 2 heroes. Doesn't matter if they all die in the process. They're still going to clean out 2 heroes instantly. And maybe kill... Like, if it's going to be a team wipe for them, like, they all die, and they at least kill 3 heroes.
Good hook. Mushy, 4 staffs out, though. Now there's the... Oh, actually, screwed the Leshrac. Split Earth would have been on the mark. Here they come. There's Call Down, though. They're going to be standing right in, and a lot of damage done. Good Earth Spike. Caught 2. Shockwave enough to clean 1. A big turnaround. Going the way of LGD. Not a minute too soon. And Weaver...
Ultimate. Misery. Nice.
That's a triple kill for God and a disconnect on the...
Braxton.
Yep, so... Brief break in the action. He's already reconnected. 9-14, though. And Orange, talk about a turnaround, man. That is 4 heroes down. And all of a sudden, I mean, let's see what they can do with it. I mean, they should be able to get a tier 1 here. Shouldn't have too much of a problem there. Still, they are going to be behind. Even after this tier 1, they're still going to be down in the range of 7,500 to 10,000 gold, give or take. But certainly a nice step in the right direction to get things back on track and give them a little bit of potential to take some map control.
Well, that's like what I said already. It's the Orange is now winning this game 100%, but Mushi's still putting in. Let's see what they can do with it.
And Pycat might be in trouble. There's an RP spin on the Nyx Assassin. Astral Imprisonment kept Mushi alive, so they buy back now. Shadow Demon net getting that off. There's another.
Misery's gonna die probably.
Pycat
He's getting
will be killed. Hex is there from Misery, but they end
But
up.
that's fine. They made the buyback
Yep.
from Mushi.
They kept the tower up.
They did, but the tower was not falling anyway.
Yep.
Trust me on that one.
10-15. 17 minutes in, 25 kills on the board. This feels a lot like game 1, or game 2, excuse me, when we had just like basically much past 10-15 minutes, we just had kills everywhere. And really anxious to see how they're going to play this out. You know, LGD, again, they've made a dent, and that's pretty much all you can say. I've got the goal graph up, and you can see it's quite literally a dent up. Still have not got it back down into the 4-digit range in terms of the enemy's gold lead. The experience is manageable at about 5,000. But with this Roshan, if they don't challenge this, if they don't stop this, could be troublesome.
I don't know. Brax is looking to steal the Aegis.
Brax setting up shop. He's going to spin the rocket flare. They're going to get a look at Roche. And Magnus is there. Here we go. Goes in, and the Aegis. Didn't see who got it. It's actually OD got it. OD got the Aegis. Brax likely to drop. Pycat will drop. There's a good Earth Spike, though. They'll follow it up with a nicely timed Illuminate. Buyback immediately from Pycat, and nice disruption keeps the homing missile off of Shadow Demon. They did get the Aegis, though. A very nice attempt, but not quite nice enough. Mushi walking around with an extra life with a green mushroom in his back pocket.
It would have been so good if he would have gotten the Aegis because he had the chance, actually. He had the chance, but he didn't click his cogs right away after he ultimated. Or he didn't know what he was trying to do. Because it's a weird situation. After you hook shot in, you're not really sure in what position you'll be in.
Right.
Because it will take you some time to move left or right or wherever. I think he should have just cogged and... I'm not really sure. I didn't see his perspective that well, even though I did see the Roshan pit.
Right.
I was looking at every hero, not only him.
Exactly. Taking a look at the items, we could see possibly a Lincoln's pickup on the way for our Weaver. He's added an ultimate orb to go with his medallion and Ring of Aquila. Magnus has furnished himself a Blink Dagger. We saw that. Already used. See what his next item choice is going to want to be if he's going to want to go for a BKB of his own. Coddle broke as a joke, only 122 gold in his inventory. Brax looks to be heading straight for a blade mail this time as he's added the chainmail to his inventory. Pycat, on the other hand, is hurting. Pycat has nothing but treads and 2 bracers, and we are 20 minutes into this game. His net worth is lower than Nyx Assassin.
Top lane. Are we going to see a kill?
Thinking of... Oh, canceled, by God. Thought about it. Scared the hell out of him, but able to cancel the ability and keep that ready to roll.
I think he should not have done it like that. I think he could have waited 1 second more and just used the blink and got next to him. Now he kind of... Oh, wow. Bottom.
Demonic Purge. Here comes the TP reaction. Blinding Light might be enough to buy him some time. Is it enough? No, he will drop. And now, God, they're looking for the return kill. They might get it on Ohio. Tanky as he is. He's not that tanky, and they're going to get the Nyx Assassin as well. That's another kill going.
Run!
Net. Hauling ass through the jungle. Will be able to make it away. 14-18, LGD gets a couple of return kills. But being able to keep Pycat down as well as they have, as long as they have. Pycat is like on par with Keeper of the Light in terms of his farm. It's that bad.
It is bad. It is definitely bad.
And, you know, right now they can rely on their abilities to team fight. That's not going to be the case forever. I mean, OD's going to fill his inventory. Mushi's not going to neglect his farm. You're not going to have a Leshrac or a Weaver who have had as good a starts as they have not get their items. So that's really my big worry right now for LGD International. It's another one of those situations where we talked about it in Game 2 and we saw it bear itself out. Eventually, BKBs are going to start showing up in the inventory of Orange. And then where's your damage if your gyro's hitting for nothing?
Well, the bonus part is that there's Magnetar this time, and you remember when the Gyrocopter had maybe only a BKB and a Mantis style? He had like somewhere plus 50 damage and stuff. He's gonna get the plus 50 damage from the Magnetar itself, so that's a big thing actually. Even if he's itemless, he will still deal damage just because of the Magnetar, like he would have BKB and Mantis style. Of course, BKB and Mantis style give you Avatar and like magic immunity. That's what I mean by Avatar. Mantis style is also pretty good movement speed and stuff, but overall the damage is going to be the same.
Here we go. LGD rattling their saber in the shadow of the tier 1 mid. We've got Mushi here, helps on the way. Very spread out for the moment. TP in from Leshrac, and the ultimate popped by LGD. Looks like they're thinking better of it. They've retreated back to their side of the river. Tranquil boots up.
They don't know that there's a ward right next to their face. They're just walking around, and Orange is like, well, just freaking come to us. I don't know, we have an Aegis regeneration,
right?
Like OD, we don't really care if you harass him or not.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
That tower is still standing. Still all 3 tier 1 towers up for Orange. LGD International, not quite so luxurious on their side of the river. They're only standing on tier 2s right now. You can see Weaver hiding out in the woods momentarily. Don't know if he's going to try to make something happen there. The Aegis timing, he's going to have about another minute and a half, give or take.
Well, I think the Leshrac's farm has stopped for some reason. Like it has, as you can see, he has a Belt of Giant Strength. I guess he has been sacrificing himself top lane.
Top
Dead.
lane. They do manage to pick off the Weaver. That's a very good pickup.
Without RP, by the way. Without RP.
Wow. Very well executed. See the sentry standing down there as we speak.
I guess it was a skewer into Hex. It's also a very good combination.
And Orange content to just continue to farm up. Trying to keep an eye on what items these heroes are going to be getting. Mushi has added an ultimate orb to his own inventory. Could be on the way to a Scythe of Ice. And as you said, Ohio has kind of leveled off a bit. He's still in the top half of the farmers, but his GPM, lowish. Higher than most other supports. Basically, other non-priority farmers. Magnus, Weaver, and OD certainly at the top. Pycat, still very low, though. That guy's had a not-so-fun game.
I don't think he needs much items. He just needs levels in this game. Because I don't think he will be doing much. Like, okay, first of all, we're just going to see a Divine Rapier. That's all. It's a clean Rapier.
Nothing but.
Nothing more.
He will sell his boots to get his Rapier. Up that much quicker, right? That kind of a game.
You think so?
I don't know. That was more of a
I
joke.
think you're right, man. You didn't do it.
More being sarcastic than anything. He might. RP gonna be spent. Gonna catch the Weaver. And the Skewer's gonna bring him back. TP reactions coming in. Calldown's gonna be awaiting them as they land. Hot LZ and Net. Hex down immediately. Down go the Cogs. Why did they continue that? They came in one at a time and fed a couple of kills. Now they might be able to get something done. There's going to be an Earth Spike, though. Catches them both. An Impale catches Pycat as well. Illuminate is going to split the wickets. Now Leshrac chasing down Pycat. Pycat may end up dead. Damage being split up, trying to juke back and forth, and just look how tanky he is. Now, though, there's the OD ult. That does not accomplish much, though. Double kill for the Lesh in the meantime. He's about to drop. Brack's going to go ahead and engage on a Mushi. Fight everywhere. Both sides of the river. Mushi going one-on-one with 1437. That's a one fight. Now going toe-to-toe with Brax. Can Brax out-damage him? Can he do it? He can! Finishes it up. Nick's assassin says, doesn't matter. You're dead anyway, bro.
Look at this Leshrac.
Lesh still alive? I thought he died. Oh, and he dodges it. He dodges it. Dodge the shockwave. And finishes off Magnus. That's a killing spree for Ohio. The man is an absolute monster and makes it away sub 100 hit points.
Okay, first of all, the haste rune on Leshrac changed the whole game. Changed the whole fight. I don't know if that was like a really strong rune to pick up. Better than any rune. Better than any situation on any hero that could have been a rune right now. It was a haste of Leshrac. Because he just ran in, killed Pycat. He got hexed, he got stunned. Doesn't matter, he doesn't care. He's just moving and he's doing his job. And he killed PJ, he killed freaking Magnetar. Because Magnetar could have killed him and the Nyx Assassin if it weren't be to that haste. But even though LGD is fighting, they're fighting well.
I'll tell you what, man. I flashed the camera away because I wrote Leshrac off as dead. I saw him kill Pycat and was like, all right, he's surrounded. I'm going to go watch the other fight that spread out across the entire freaking map because that was one of those fights that had like 3 different skirmishes going on at any given moment. So I flashed away, and then I watched Nyx Assassin come in and clean up Brax after he killed off
Watch now, top lane.
Mushi. And God getting into position. God is going to be on his way to a BKB, by the way. Weaver still, he looks like he may have something sitting back at the base for him. He has very little gold on him. But anyway.
Just a casual perseverance.
Just a casual perseverance on his way to the Lincolns. But yeah, man, like I thought he was dead, and it's like, and then the Leshrac, that's what you said. Well, he's still alive? It's like, and I barely got there in time to see Magnus make it happen. Lesh does finish his Bloodstone, so that's going to be a 26-minute Bloodstone. And this is, Bloodstone, if you can get it up, especially on a hero like Lesh, it's such a face roll item. If you get ahead enough to get a Bloodstone, then you stay ahead enough to get some charges on it, all of a sudden, you're just nigh unkillable.
Top lane. The sentry has been placed. Misery's probably going to die here. I'm not really sure who else is going to die.
There we go.
God should just blink out.
Yep, he's just, sorry, Misery. He uses the Hex. Don't think it's going to matter. Earth Spike, nice attempt. And one auto attack. Nope. Actually, they will take a little bit extra damage from Brax, but in the meantime, free kill. Magnus picks up a double damage rune, though. Is going to make his way to mid. That tower below half health. Weaver will be there in time. Throws out the swarm.
Yeah, no Lion. They would have actually gone for the Weaver easily. But a smoke gank.
coming out from Orange, making their way down through mid. We've got 2 smoked up. That's our Nyx Assassin and our Shadow Demon. They're going to go ahead and know that they should know they've been spotted now. I mean, Sentry Wards should spot him. There's a good hook. Going to land on Ohio. Ohio locked in place down to half health and should be cleaned up here, will be.
It's a good kill. The Bloodstone charge is going back, and it is definitely a good kill because I can see the BKBs coming up for LGD International. Even you think like this Gyrocopter is not going to deal damage, he's going to deal damage very soon. And he doesn't care about the Obsidian. He doesn't really care about anything, really. Only Weaver, if there's going to be a fight. Okay, G, what are you doing that far, man?
Yep, and thought about the RP, thought better of it, and should be cleaned up here. There's the Urn Charge.
Nope.
And no, Hex is going to be there. And Net will be the counter kill. And the Urn doesn't matter. Wand Charges keep him alive. Very well played by LGD.
As I was saying, there's a BKB now on Magnetar, and there's going to be a BKB on Gyrocopter. So if there's going to be a 5v5 fight, I think the Nyx Assassin, Shadow Demon, Leshrac, okay, not really Leshrac, but I think even the OD is going to melt.
Yep. Lesh feeling pretty tanky. He's got his set of treads and his Bloodstone, even with just 4 charges. Still feeling very tanky after that death. And continuing to go back to work to farm.
What is keeping them actually in this game right now is this Coddle's Blinding Light. It's a really strong spell against heroes like Weaver and Obsidian Destroyer. Because if you pull it out on these 2 heroes, they can't really hit you for a long time. 3-second duration right now, it's going to be 4-second duration. And 4-second duration, 80% chance miss is enough. Is enough to do a lot.
Scythe of Ice picked up on Mushi. So he's got the mobility, he's got the Hex. Roche is back up. We'll see if that's going to be the order of the day. Vision nil around the Roche pit for both sides as of right now. And Orange getting into position. The side of LGD, we can see the Blade Mail is done on Brax. Pycat. BKB is not far away unless he's got a Mithril Hammer I'm not aware of. Nope, not on the Courier, so 700 gold away from his BKB. And Orange forced back, and now looks like LGD wants to try and cross the river. They will. Weaver going to be spotted out, and Lincoln's will be popped, so they know he has the Lincoln Sphere done now.
Also an important factor, even if this Obsidian Destroyer has this Hex, it is his main item. It is his main item, and why is it his main item? Is because now he has 130 intelligence. Mm-hmm. This is important. Like, he will destroy heroes if he gets them off guard.
Lincoln's popped again. 18 seconds, and here comes Nyx. Nyx looking for it. Oh, he's going to be hexed out. Here we go. Go! Just blown up, but no, there's the Astral Imprisonment. Don't know if it kept him alive. Looked like it did. He's going to drop out dead. Now Brax ends up dead. OD ult does a little damage, not nearly what they wanted, but now the counter charge. RP's going to be spinning. Only got 1, and it was a BKB Leshrac. Now Pycat's in trouble, being pursued out and cleaned up by Orange. And LGD felt like they had everything they needed to make that fight happen. The execution lacking. RP bizarrely spent by God on a target that he could do nothing to.
I can feel the frustration of Brax because his buyback didn't really have to be used, but I know exactly why he bought back. It's because he jumped in and he did not click Blade Mail.
Yep.
He jumped in, he has more HP than the Obsidian Destroyer, and who killed him? The Obsidian Destroyer.
Right.
He would just click this Blade Mail and this Obsidian cannot even kill him. And he got very frustrated and he had to do this move to buy back and maybe save his allies of his mistake.
Talking about face roll territory, not there yet, but on the way. 8 charges now on Ohio. He's got a BKB start at Ogre Club. He's going to be encroaching on, by the time he finishes BKB, the guy is going to be just so damn hard to kill. And here we go. Magnus caught out once again. They will follow it up, and that's a dead god. No doubt about it. 9 stacks down. Dead God. God is dead, said Nietzsche. And Nietzsche was talking about Orange and what they're doing to LGD. There's going to be a good Blinding Light Illuminate, though. Some damage done. Misery will not make it away. The damage from Leshrac just too high. And he could just face tank the tower right now. That's just how far ahead he happens to be.
Yeah, these are weird situations happening. Did you if you can think about what happened in the last 2 minutes? Is this Nyx Assassin blinking in, not catching anybody, getting hexed and almost killed, but the mistake created a situation that he kind of tanked the damage, and the Astral Imprisonment made them use all the spells on him, so the Obsidian Destroyer, Leshrac Weaver could just do whatever they want to. So many things happening in like seconds.
Call downs there. Illuminate actually caught him. Net barely able to get away. Force Staff used to get Mushi out of harm's way as well. Magnus is still down. Deny on the tier 2 mid, so right now in terms of map control, in terms of pure gold, I mean, dominant performance from Orange. They barely dipped below 10,000 gold ahead a couple of times over the last 10 minutes, but for the most part, continuing to just hold it there. Now finally getting close to 12,000. The experience looks about the same, coming up on 15,000 their lead.
You know, the feeling of this game doesn't make me think that heroes actually should be level 17 or 16 or something like that, but heroes are, like Magnetar is level 17 already.
Completely agree
Good
with
fight
you.
coming up.
Cogs are down. This tier 1, very low. And here we go. Nyx is going to go for it. BKB's popped. He's surrounded by enemy faces. No way to do anything to him. Weaver will be able to make it away. Here comes the TP, and that's going to be Mushi eating a lot of damage. Vanishes himself. Now the Leshrac eating some damage. There's going to be a retreat. Call the general order from LGD as they move back across the river. Looks like Orange doesn't want to give up the ghost. Force Staff on Nyx. Blinks ahead and gets one with the Impale. That's going to be Pycat. Pycat eating some right-click damage. Brax drops down the Cogs. No follow-up. I was kind of like you. I was kind of just sniffing it. You just start to feel it in your bones after a while that an RP was coming. No counter initiation, though. LGD just happy to make it back with their skins intact.
Well, this is the main fight, I think. This will pretty much make the pace of the game. If Orange wins this fight, I think it's pretty much, you know, good game. But if LGD can pull out a nice wipe here, it's going to put the pace.
Here we go. Rocket Flare,
They don't want
Illuminate.
to fight.
Oh, there's a hook. They're going to be able to catch Ohio. Force Staff's used. He's going to be able to get himself out of it. Call down. Oh, wow. Weaver actually went back into it by his RP. Got the 2 damage dealers good. Disruption saves OD. Mushi going to come out firing. BKB up on God. Now he's going to be purged. Oh, the OD ult. He dropped the hammer. Absolutely melting down LGD. LGD with a good RP. Clutch play out of net. Keeping the OD alive. Using the disruption. As good as it was, not good enough. 32 to 22. The tier 2's gone, and now maybe thinking it's time for tier 3.
I think it could have been much more worse for LGD International. They could have lost all of their heroes in that position, but they are trying their best to do something.
They're just going to dive straight past tier 3. They are so confident right now. Need to be careful, though.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah, it's like Magnus is only down another 20-some seconds, and it's Lion's back up now. And you are still a support net. You can still, hook, split the wickets. Came real close. There's an Impale going to catch 1437.
He beat Blade Mail.
Blade Mail going to keep him alive momentarily. They will get the Aegis at the very least. Tier 3 tower is gone. Pycat at half health. Magnus is back up in 8 seconds. They need to get that Rax is what they need to do. Screwing around, diving past the tier 3.
They will get it.
And
Rocket has to be killed. No. Forget it, man. I like rockets.
33-22. First set of racks is down. Gonna have a pause. Looks like poor Brax has been having some connection issues. While we have a moment waiting for him to reconnect, want to welcome you in. If you've just tuned in, 36 minutes into this game 3, you've missed a lot of action so far. Make sure you catch our rebroadcast. It'll be taking place at noon Eastern Daylight Time at 6 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time here on One More Game TV 2. It's probably almost noon now, yeah, so I'll have to get the rebroadcast going as soon as we conclude here today. But you're listening to me, AC, on One More Game TV2, joined by Navi's own Puppy. Been a fun series so far, but looking like Orange. Oh, fake back. They smoke up as they clean.
Oh, I've done this, and then we all die. But that's Russian style. I don't think they're Russians.
That's how you do it. And let's see. They're going to wait for someone to come try to clean this up here. That's going to be Clockwork they spot. Oh, there's Magnus. And here we go. There's the Nyx Assassin blinks in. And God with no mana followed up. He will be dropping. BKB. No! BKB skewered. Nope, never mind. Weaver's there to add the last little bit of damage. He's down 64 seconds. He has no hope of buyback. There's no outer tier towers remaining. This should be the exclamation point at the end of this win. There's a buyback from Clockwork. Don't know how much it matters, though. Orange going to rotate now to mid. They've got a creep wave waiting on them. And things looking solid for the Malaysian Sensations.
Yeah, Weaver's going to have a Mantis style very soon. So even if they won't take this tower, I don't think they're backing off with the aggression.
Here comes
Podcast's getting
Nyx.
killed before.
Yep, and Nyx actually going to be caught out as well. Will be fingered. No,
Wow.
the disruption is there! Ned, are you kidding me? He's got it on a hair trigger. Has bailed out his whole team. Good hook in, though. Brax looking to get some payback. Retribution not going to be on the menu for Weaver. He uses his ult, now making his way out of the freshly vacated bottom tier 3 space. Mushi still up, but for how long? Not for long. If Brax, Pycat has his say, they do track him down. Going to cost him his own life, though. Cogs are going to go down. He may survive here. Another good disruption from Ned. Oh, Ned, you beast. Not enough to keep him alive permanently, but just enough time to secure one more kill. 1437 will spot him out. In the meantime, we've got Ohio being chased by God. Oh, God cleaned up, and now Weaver laying into the big horned menace. TP reactions there. RP gonna be spent. They want to kill the bug. Squish the bug. Mushi's there. Drops the hammer. And the ulti coming out from Weaver keeps him alive and ready to hang and bang. Only Keeper of the Light remains standing on the side of LGD. Tier 3 bottom gone. Rax gone. Soon to be Rax gone in middle. Expect the GG's anytime. What a performance from Orange Puppy.
Yeah, they've been playing like crazy. And you can't underestimate this team. You must fight aggression with aggression. There's no defensive way, I think, in Dota right now. You have to have your own mind of aggression. You can be aggressive in different ways, but not this way. You can't be ever passive. And that's why people just pick up this Leshrac and Shadow Demon. It's not because they're passive or aggressive or whatever. It's because you have the choice. You have the choice to go easy lane, you have the choice to roam, you have the choice to go hard lane. The choice that you have is your versatility, and it's what makes you win the game in the end, because you can pick anything that you wish in the end after them, because they just picked up an Obsidian. Of course, it's a big, it's not a new pickup or anything, but it still is kind of. It kind of is.
Yeah,
you know?
no,
You don't pick
it's
it all the time.
situational. I totally agree. It's very situational, and it tends to go one way or the other, based on what I've seen.
And you don't put. Wait, look at this fight.
Yeah.
Look at this fight.
The GGs are out. The GGs are out. Just a little bit of showboating now, padding the stats on both sides. Pycat will be cleaned up. Leshrac's an absolute monster. And, yep, peace out, God. See ya. Another day. Orange gonna walk away victors here. And I mentioned this previously. Actually, I'm gonna save that for the recap. Final thoughts on this match here, Puppy.
Well, I'm gonna end like my thought, which I try to say, is if you have heroes like the Leshrac carry, that doesn't happen much.
Right.
I think it happens like one game in 100 maybe.
Yep.
It really does happen like that. But that's the point. That's the Leshrac Nerubian Leshrac pickup that you're gonna have, and that's what basically happened in the second game for LGD International. Even though it was a 70-minute struggle game for them, they still kind of surprised their enemy what lanes they had and who plays what now, because God went to hard lane with a Clockwork instead of going middle with Silencer. Pycat went top with the Silencer instead of tri-laning, because there was so many variations at the start of the game that you could have actually looked at the versatility that their picks were giving them, that they could roam around with this Leshrac and Shadow Demon and kill Mushi all the time. The versatility counts in Dota right now. If you have a versatile lineup, that's because Furion's a really good hero for Europeans. I think as long as we get to the international, like closer to the international, people will start realizing what heroes to ban against Europeans and whatever. It's like EG with their CM Morphling lane middle. I mean, people didn't really think it's important to them, like the Chinese and stuff, but in the end, IG were the only ones that lost against this Morphling CM lane. Ferrari couldn't do stuff, but they thought it wasn't a problem, but actually it is. So they didn't let them do that ever again, because you got to be smart about things, never be cocky. IG was even cocky at that time, but they're still the winners of the international. I mean, I was cocky, but everybody is.
How could you not be, right?
Everybody is, but that's natural. But if you have a versatile lineup and you know what to do with it, then you will always win.